Hmm. Alright, I'll wait for everyone to come back in. Alright, I think we're live. Yeah, we're live. Okay, good. Yeah, the streaming is not that strong today. Good morning again. Alright. I think it only for some reason stayed live for 3 minutes, so I think we'll backtrack and basically cover everything we talked about. So jumping right back in, we're going to recover hopefully some information here. We have left off in the part in the book where we're talking about food. And we talked about why people want to store food, the reasons behind it. Us personally, we know that there are food shortages coming our way, increase in food prices, and overall preparedness, just in case there is a natural event like snow or an event where we lose power because of a storm, which happened last year. We lost it for even how many days was it? 7? Remember doing laundry outside, cooking on the grill, making pizza? It's a good reason to get prepared and have those options. So in the book, we talk about what are you storing food for? What period of time are you looking to store food for? Are you looking for food that will store for a long time or for a few days? This is where careful planning comes into play. Plan for emergencies that have happened in recent times and start there. You know where you live and what you have been through, so next time write a list of foods that you and your family eat and how much of it you eat, and then use it as a starting point for your food storage. There are many options for food storage. These options work for anyone on any budget, but before I dive into that topic, there are 4 notes that you should keep in mind when you prepare for your food storage, and that is oxygen, heat, humidity, and light. As long as you keep those 4 things away from your food, you're in really good shape. You're going to do phenomenal. Now, also good practice is in case you check in on your food. Rotate your food depending on where you live, and it's also a good idea to take some small security measures to make sure that your food is safe and secure. So keep it simple. It's a good practice to keep an inventory of what you store and buy what you eat and eat what you buy. So as long as you do that, again, you're in great shape. Alright, we're live still, so that's good. So we talked about Mylar bags and the way foods are stored. So over here we have, for food storage, you can have anything from a number 10 can over here to smaller cans. You can have these flexible bags, like a thin metal. That's what it looks like all dressed up. But here it is. These are the Mylar bags that we use. It's a thin, flexible metal which will keep out light, keep your food dry, and then your part is to keep it cool. So as long as you do that, you're in great shape. So you have metal bags, you have cans, you also have glass jars. Like we talked about earlier, you have a couple options. You can buy freeze-dried, which is over here, or dehydrate your own food, which you can do at home. And the great thing about these are, this is super easy and convenient, but it's also a little pricey. This takes some time, but what the great thing about it is you can grow your own food, slice it up, dehydrate it, save it for later. You can even create meals in these glass jars and save that and put that up for later. So this right here, we made some potatoes. We parboiled them for about 30 seconds, put them in the dehydrator for a few hours, and then put them in these jars. And the great thing is you can rotate them and use them. Freeze-dried food will last you, depending on how you store it, 25 definitely plus years. I mean, this will last you for decades. Dehydrated food, same thing. Freeze-dried food, they make it super cold, minus 250 plus degrees to remove all the oxygen, so it'll last you. It will maintain its nutrition, color, and texture, and you can eat it right out of the bag. That's the difference between this and dehydrated. Dehydrated food is, like for bananas for example, there is a low heat applied for many hours but it makes it kind of hard and dry. So you have to apply water and or cook it to then eat it. So for these, I would just apply some water, let it soak up for a few minutes, and then you can eat it. So this you can eat right out of the bag. This one, you have to apply water and wait a little bit. What's that? Okay. Now another thing you can also do is save on your grains. Well, they are available and affordable right now. So we have some soft white wheat that we've put up for later. And the important thing about grains is that you can buy your flour that's already ground, but depending on how you store it, it will last you anywhere from 5 to 10 years. So again, if you keep it cool, dark, and dry, you'll get more life out of it. But for wheat berries, if you get yourself a hand grinder, this will last you many decades, and you can have fresh bread and crackers and cakes and whatnot for many years to come. So you do have options. You can have the flour now, but you must use it sooner. But with the wheat berries, you can save that for later. Now another important thing is, since we touched upon coffee, we can dive right into that. Now for this is green unroasted coffee beans. So you can freshly roast this over an open fire or on the stove and have fresh coffee. Now you can also get yourself some freeze-dried coffee that's instant. So have options. You can have instant, that's ready right away. You can have something that'll take you a few minutes and then have it fresh. So rotate, add to your options, and you're good to go. And another important thing is when you get your coffee, depending on if it's already roasted or not roasted, get yourself a hand grinder. You can get one of these. Let's see what else. And have a few options in case, like with can openers, if one breaks, you have another on hand. And you can also have this one as well. So have a few options on hand depending on what type of tools or applications you're going to have. Wheat grinders, coffee grinders, same thing. And get yourself a coffee press or Chemex. Options are great to have on hand. I can't emphasize that enough. And especially from an encouragement point of view, absolutely. In case something breaks, you're like, all right, I don't have to panic, we're good. So we covered coffee, teas. Teas are great to have on hand. Tea bags, loose tea, again, cool, dry, and you're good to go. It'll last you. What else have we not talked about? Electrolyte drinks. You can have your powdered drinks, lemonade, iced tea, but another thing to actually add on hand is some electrolyte drinks. So if you're working, there's stress, this is a great way to help you recover and keep your morale up. So powdered drinks are great, lemonades, iced teas, Tang and whatnot, but also add in some electrolyte drinks. So important. Now, things that'll last you, probably even outlast you, are stuff like agave, honey, and maple syrup. Agave, this is a great option if you are concerned about your sugar levels. This is a low glycemic sweetener, so you can get yourself some agave sweetener. Maple syrup and honey. Honey will last you forever. Maple syrup will last you forever. The one thing I will say is, let's see here. Oh, hey, Mr. Boston, how are you? Maple syrup, buy small jars, because once you open these, you have to refrigerate them. But with honey, you're good to go. So have plenty of these options on hand. And honey is great. You got vitamin B's in there. You have energy, carbohydrates, tons of vitamins and minerals in here. Really great to have on hand. Just make sure it's real honey and not the mixed sweeteners. And that too will last you forever. And another thing we talked about when I mentioned the vegetables is that seeds. Seeds are so important, especially right now. The sooner you buy them, the better off you're going to be, because last year there was a ton of shortages happening. So get online, get to your store, get to your feed store, and get yourself some seeds. Make yourself a plan for your garden like we have right now, and start getting ready for that. Like these, we're going to start indoors and then transplant them out. These over here will be direct sowed into the seed and the soil. So we have carrots, lettuce, cabbage, peas and beans, melons, and corn. The great thing about corn is that you can eat it sweet like this. You can pop it right on the cob, and then you also have corns where you can dry it and grind into a nice flour. So get a nice wide variety of foods. Colors, same thing for your nutrition. Now buckwheat is great to have on hand because you can grind it into flour. Yeah, no, you're right. With lettuce, it's not so much for nutrition, but it's great to have on hand if you want to wrap it or put it into a salad. But with buckwheat, this is great because absolutely right about the corn and the sugar. Buckwheat is great because you can grind it into phenomenally nutritious pancakes on a cold, snowy day. And you can also take the grown buckwheat, which grows real fast, 4 to 6 weeks. You can chop it, return it back into the ground, and it'll break down and provide great nitrogen and nutrition for your soil to keep growing for the next year. So depending on how challenging times are, you can do that. So I am a big fan of the pink buckwheat. You can get white, you can get pink, there's different varieties, but definitely have this on hand, which is great. And with the seed saving, these are obvious, same thing here. A lot of these are really good. The ones that you want to let bolt into seeds would be the carrots and the lettuce and cabbage. Now the tomatoes, I'm super excited because last year I couldn't get my hands on the Roma, so I got 2 packs. Really excited about those. And so we can make sauce, you can add them in salads. Great stuff. Easy peasy. So get your hands on your seeds if you're going to do this. Plan your garden so you're well ready before spring hits. And another thing we should also talk about is nutrition. Vitamins, supplements, over-the-counter medication. If you take meds, try to stock up or talk to your doctor about getting a 3-month supply and then keep rotating. But definitely have that on hand just in case. But your vitamins, depending on how you live, what your health is like, you should really think about that. It's a great option. So if you buy 1, buy 2 next time and then just rotate. So keep your nutrition ahead of you. Purple carrots are original carrots. Oh yeah, you're right. They do take a while to grow. Nothing like Massachusetts soil. Yeah, you're right. I think the Dutch, since that's their house color is orange, they really blasted the world with orange carrots. But yeah, there's white carrots, purple carrots, red, like the Kyoto red. I'm excited to try these. These look yummy. These were expensive. These were $5 a pack, so I only got 1. But I'm excited to try those. And the cabbage. We got our melons. I already have pumpkin seeds elsewhere. But again, come up with your own personalized plan. Work on your garden layout. We already put down some straw and supplies. So we covered freeze-dried, dehydrated, and other options. Again, you start small and work up from there. And so you got your desserts. You can dehydrate your own foods. But again, just keep adding it. Each week, add a little bit there, add a little bit more, and keep going. Like with freeze-dried foods, for example, they have everything from beef, vegetarian, chicken, sides. Start small and work up from there. Another important thing is paper plates. So if anything were to happen, you can just eat off of that and then throw it in the fire. You're good to go. So you don't have to worry about wasting water on cleaning after you ate. Now, one thing I did years ago was I went online to the Farmer's Almanac, and they have tons of information in there. You can print out so much information. So what I did was I got a binder and I just put it in here. Everything from what to do when the power goes out, your guide to starting a vegetable garden and raising chickens. You can go online, print these out. You have recipes, how to work the soil, how to start a garden. This is the absolute best time to not only stock up on supplies, but to also print out information that'll help you out in the future for a reference. Get yourself a binder, get yourself some of these plastic protective cover sleeves, and then go to town on it. Like the potatoes, we grew so many potatoes last year. We still have bags out in the sunroom of potatoes, onions, so many things to flavor your food inexpensively, but also in a very healthy way. Planting grown potatoes, just to have a great reference on hand. What to look out for, identify disease. Pickling is so great for your gut health and for your health in general. So yeah, get online, start printing stuff, print out recipes, old school recipes. Let's see, I think since I'm back on YouTube, I'm trying to remember what I've been posting on D-Live versus here. So look how easy it is. Just print, get some of these sleeves, get yourself a binder. So instead of just saying how easy it is, I'm trying to show you guys, yes, I too can do this, and yeah, you can too. So keep your printer busy, keep your dehydrators busy, because with the changing of the weather and the weather cycles and the jet streams and the multi-cycle minimum that we're in, I mean, look at China. China is absolutely in a food crisis right now. China is scouring the planet for any which way to get food for their people. Right now, they're rationing food right now in China. The mainstream people aren't talking about this. The mainstream news is not alerting to the world what's going on. So please, pen and paper. Write down where you want to plant your seeds. Write down what you want to plant. Get your hands on the seeds. Yeah, it's the cockroach milk. It's disgusting. It's absolutely disgusting. I mean, there's these big ag companies. I think the EU actually just came out and said that they are now permitting the allowance of, I think, mealworms, which is disgusting. They want to grind into a powder and say, hey, I'll put this in your recipe. So if you have chickens, keep your chickens healthy. Add to them if you can. If you have land for goats, get yourself some goats. Get creative. Talk to farmers. Talk to your local cattlemen and ranchers. If they have near you, build up a good relationship with them. That way you can buy big chunks of meat and then get it affordably, and it's also a healthy option to have as well. But go online, print this information, get yourself your binder, keep it on hand, and get some old recipe books. Start small. Again, depending on where you live, what your HOAs are like. Again, you can also buy it freeze-dried. You get your meats freeze-dried there. You can get them in pouches. Pea protein. Pea protein is huge. We've talked about this in the past. In fact, I think I'm going to try. We're going shopping today, so I think I'll try to squeeze in a video, depending on how busy it is. Pea protein is great to have on hand. If you look at nutrition companies, they have these meal replacements where they actually use pea protein for vegetarians or vegans. A great source of protein is from peas. And get a ton of them now while they're affordable. I can't emphasize that enough. They're so cheap. And they'll last you many years. Put them in a Mylar bag like this. Cool, dark, dry. You're great. You're in great shape. Oh, you're that close to a slaughterhouse? Nice. Oh, yeah, the farm space and everything, yeah. Yeah, Gates is, like, I think the largest landowner of farmland right now, which it's... With the guy's agenda, you can only imagine what he's going to do with it to control things. So it's real unfortunate. So the best thing we can do right now, realistically, but stay optimistic and positive, is take care of yourself, your family, and be an asset to those in the future. So we'll talk more about the detailed stuff like this in next Saturday show, but like sewing supplies, materials, supplies, all that stuff, water. So again, start here, start small. And if you want a copy of the book, email me. I'll email it to people. So we got chicken, beef, bags. The fortunate thing is a lot of the websites, the availability is constantly in flux because so many people are trying to get their hands on it. Prices have gone up. It's so the landscape is so different than it was a couple years ago. So if you have to buy small with the pouches at Bass Pro Cabela's, do that. What's in what bag? We have chicken fried rice. Oh, this one right here, this is green coffee beans. Back when I was roasting coffee, I had a lot left over. Closed down my online business and kept it, and I just put them in these Mylar bags. TalkwithTiffany at protonmail.com. Let's see. So yeah, this is basically what we're doing right now. I'm trying to show people, let them know they have options. Here, let me put this in. TalkwithTiffany at protonmail.com. Yeah, I've been emailing people a copy of this book that I wrote back in 2014. Easy peasy. That was it. Be prepared, be comfortable. And this is how I break it down. I gave myself a challenge to do this in a month, and I did. We have everything from food water, survival, skills, working with your family, and keeping it personal. Keep everything together in a plan. So right now we've covered food, canning, water bath, pressure cooker in here, a quick list, like a guide just to get you started, depending on people's budgets. Oils, vitamins, what will last years, what will last forever. Like for example, like we talked about honey. Honey never spoils if it crystallizes, placed in an open container in some hot water until it liquefies again. You got local honey helps. Definitely buy local because it helps with your allergies. That was another good point that's in here, is that if you have any allergies, consuming local honey will actually help with your allergy issues. It has antioxidants in it, honey on wounds, including burns, to help them heal faster. It's a natural antibiotic, preferably Manuka honey. And it says, so be smart and store honey. I wrote this so long ago, I forgot about this. So yeah, there you go. Email me and I'll get that book out to you. So start small, but just the thing is, keep at it. It doesn't have to be overwhelming. It's not complicated. The sad thing is, a lot of people think of stuff like this, that you have a bunker, that you never see the light of day. No, we're out and about doing our own thing, but I'm being realistic with ourselves. I want to protect my family in case anything happens, as anyone else should and want to. So this is just a small smattering of what it is that you can do. You have your nutrition, your coffee, ways to grind it, paper plates, so important. You can also get wooden utensils, your seeds to get started growing your own food so you can then dehydrate and save for later. Easy peasy. So lots of options, freeze dried, dehydrated, things you can buy in the store, and get yourself some Mylar bags. And I just got your email, perfect. I got a list of people I got an email today. So dry goods, we talked about this in the book as well. We actually give a list from pastas, rice, lentils, dried beans, our peas as well, for that protein. Let's see what else we got in here. Beans, white rice more so than brown because of the oils in the brown rice. You can store it, just make sure you consume that first. Baking soda, baking powder, many medicinal reasons for that, help cleaning. White sugar, now I will say this, remember this, when it comes to sugar and salt, do not put an O2 absorber in, it will harden it. I learned that the hard way a couple times. And someone said online years ago, don't put those in because it will, the heat from the O2 absorbers will actually, for some weird reason, make everything hard. So that's probably the rare time you don't need to use O2 absorbers, is with your sugar and your salt. But spices, I think there's a video we made, I think it might have been D-Live actually, unfortunately, but there was this big container, all these spices I had on there. Avoid the food fatigue. Give yourself some options. Now, the 2 to 5 year shelf life would be peanut butter, canned fruit, canned anything really. Let's see, hard candies, those will actually go bad and melt on you. Oils, that's another big one right there. So go through that stuff. I stocked up on Himalayan honey. I hope I don't die from taking it. Yeah, Himalayan salt, Himalayan honey. You should be fine. But again, these are just something to work with and start from. So as long as you have that benchmark and that foundation, you can customize it, make it your own. So I think we covered everything. Make sure you print your own information, get yourself a binder, find some recipes that you want to use. Get yourself your teas, your coffee. Unfortunately, people have their vices, and we talked about this. So if you have your need for alcohol, buy small bottles. Make sure it's not the cream stuff. Your tobacco, stock up on that if you're a smoker, but make sure that you have extras on hand so you keep your morale up and your wits about you. That's probably another big thing. That's why we also talk about nutrition. Very important to have. So wide variety, keep it interesting, and just keep plugging away at it every day, and you're in good hands. So, alright, I think we're going to end it there. Again, any questions, email me. Check out the other videos we have on hand. I've had plenty of working with Mylar bags. I also, with the canning, use a brake bleeder. That's a very interesting one. So if you have no electricity but want to keep your food fresh, brake bleeder for like less than 30 bucks. So very creative ways to store food and maintain it. Check out the videos. Any questions, hit me up in the comments or email. But with that being said, be safe and well, keep at it, and we'll talk to you guys later. Go enjoy your weekend.